A man from Medina shall flee, the Mahdi shall flee, seek refuge in the Kaaba. And the people will give him bay'ah. So then we add this hadith. The governments of the time will become terrified. Who is this political agitator? Send in the troops. The army will be destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this, by the way, when this happens, this is the sign the Mahdi has come. Until that happens, nobody can claim to be the Mahdi. Anybody who claims to be the Mahdi is lying. Because even the Mahdi himself will say, no, it can't be me. I'm not good enough. He will deny it. And this is what true leadership does. True leaderships, they don't want to be leaders. This is what the real leader does. So the Mahdi will grudgingly take the bay'ah. The army will be sent. When the army is destroyed by Allah, this is the sign. Everybody now knows this is the Mahdi. Until that happens, please, brothers and sisters, don't be fooled by the sweet talk of the sweet talkers. Don't be fooled by the tongue of the vipers. There is no Mahdi that will preach he is the Mahdi. When Allah shows this sign, then we will all know that this person is indeed the Mahdi. And what is the phrase, and none shall attack the Kaaba except its own people? This is a blessing from Allah and a sadness to us. The blessing from Allah, no non-Muslim army will ever attack Mecca. Alhamdulillah. This is a blessing from Allah. Let all these Islamophobes give their false memes and threats and whatnot. No non-Muslim army will ever even attempt to attack Mecca. It's not going to happen. As long as there are Muslims in this world, Mecca will never be attacked by non-Muslims. But who will attack Mecca? وَلَنْ يَسْتَحِلَّ الْبَيْتَ إِلَّا أَهْلُهُ. Its own Ahl will attack Mecca. So the Prophet ﷺ predicted, no one shall attack Mecca except its own people. And this is sadness for us, but at least some comfort that externally Allah will protect the Kaaba. Until there are no Muslims left in the earth. When there are no Muslims left, then what's going to happen? There shall be an army from Ethiopia that will come and destroy the Kaaba when there are no more Muslims. This is towards the end of times, before the actual trumpet is blown, and that is towards the end of times after the Muslims have disappeared from earth. Of the characteristics of the Mahdi as well, is that he shall be the leader of the entire Muslim Ummah. And this is an amazing phenomenon, the likes of which we have not seen since the times of early Islam. The hadith goes as follows. Judgment will not happen until the Romans encamp at a land called Dabiq, which is a small village in Syria. Okay? Until the Romans camp at a land called Dabiq. And an army will come from Medina, who are the best of the people in the earth. And they will face this army from Rome in the village of Dabiq. And it mentions the great Armageddon. And then the hadith goes on, I'm not going to go into all of it. It basically mentions until this army will then go towards Constantinople and conquer Constantinople. Now, this hadith is very problematic for all commentators of our times. Nobody has a clear understanding of what this hadith means. And how can we? Because what is Constantinople? Istanbul. What does it mean they're going to conquer Constantinople? Allahu A'lam. Does it mean that it will go back into non-Muslim hands? Does it mean that? Allahu A'lam. What does it mean? We have no idea. But this hadith mentions that that army which is going from Medina, which army is leaving from Medina towards the end of times? Is the army of the Mahdi. It will fight the Armageddon, it will be successful, it will continue fighting until finally it will conquer Constantinople, which is Constantinople. So, we have, and this is in Sahih Muslim, that's authentic. And the other hadith, Jerusalem, which is in Tirmidhi, which is not authentic. Put together, it appears we form some type of narrative. The army of the Mahdi will unify the Muslim world. It appears. We can make a tentative hypothesis. It's tentative, it's not explicit. The army of the Mahdi will unify the Muslim world, and there shall be peace and justice, and that point in time will be of the greatest periods known to Islamic history. Our Prophet ﷺ praised the Mahdi in a number of hadith, and he said And this is one of those hadith that is in Sahih Muslim, so it is an authentic hadith, but the word Mahdi is not mentioned. The Prophet ﷺ said, towards the end of times there shall be a Khalifa who shall give money to the poor and he won't even count it. He's praising, he's going to be generous. And another hadith that towards the end of times, can you imagine a time when Isa ibn Maryam will come down from the heavens? This hadith is Sahih Muslim. And your Imam is from amongst you. وَإِمَامُكُمْ مِنْكُمْ. And Isa will come down at Fajr time and he will be asked by the Imam, come lead Salah. And Isa will say, no, the Iqamah was called for you. So he will be led by one of you. تَكْرِمَةً لِهَذِهِ الْأُمَّةِ. As an honor to this ummah. This hadith is in Sahih Muslim. It is authentic. Does it mention the word Mahdi? No. What does it mention? وَإِمَامُكُمْ مِنْكُمْ. This is one of the most authentic ahadith about the concept of the Mahdi. Who will have the honor that Isa will come down and he is the Imam? Who will have the honor that Isa will pray behind somebody from our ummah? That's what the Prophet said. He will be from our ummah and Isa will pray behind him. Who is that person? He is none other than the Mahdi. So the concept of the Mahdi is found in Bukhari and Muslim without the term Mahdi. But the term Mahdi is found in every single other book. In another hadith, also in Abu Dawud and Muslim Imam Ahmad, we learned that the Mahdi shall rule for 7 years. In the authentic hadith it says, he shall rule for 7 years. So we have a time frame as well, that the Mahdi will be powerful. The Mahdi will not be alive because he's going to be alive for many years, but he will rule for 7 years. So he will establish his authority, his dominion, and he will rule for 7 years. We also learn, and this hadith as well is in Sahih Muslim, so this is another one of those hadith that mentions the Mahdi indirectly. We also learn that there shall be a great war taking place, and the Muslims will be successful, and a rumor will be spread that the Dajjal has come out. So their Imam will take the army to try to find Dajjal, but it will be found that the rumor is not true. When they have found the rumor is not true, lo and behold, Dajjal will come at that point in time. So we learn from this, again the word Mahdi doesn't come. We learn from this, when will the Mahdi come? Before Dajjal. If you attended on Wednesday, my lecture series I'm giving, I said the Mahdi is the last of the minor signs that links to the major signs. Now you understand why. The Mahdi is the last of the minor signs that links to the major signs. In the time of the Mahdi, Dajjal will come. The Muslims will attempt to fight Dajjal back and forth. Will they be successful? No. No one can kill the Dajjal, not even the Mahdi. Who can kill the Dajjal? Only one, and that is Isa ibn Maryam. But what will the Mahdi do? The Mahdi will provide peace and stability for the people with him. Those that are with the Mahdi, some protection will be given. Some safety will be there. And they will be running and fighting in various places. Many will die shaheed, but the group will still be there. Until, the hadith mentions in Sahih Muslim, this one, this army will be in Damascus, in Damascus, in Damashq. And they will be praying in the Umayyad mosque. The hadith doesn't say Umayyad mosque, the hadith says, عند المنارس البيضاء, with the white minaret. And pretty much by unanimous consensus, the white minaret is the minaret that was built, one of the earliest masjids that is still standing today and being used today, is the Umayyad mosque, built by Abdul Malik ibn Marwan, 1,350 years old, the same structure, continuous masjid. And he built it with a beautiful white minaret, perhaps not even knowing the hadith. And the hadith mentions that the Muslims will pray in Damascus in front of the white minaret. And as the iqamah is given for Salat al-Fajr, lo and behold, they will see Isa coming down, holding on to 2 angels. And he will come down, they will pause Fajr until he comes down. You don't have to ask identity when somebody comes from the heavens, okay? It's pretty obvious who that person is going to be. You don't have to wonder, already the Dajjal has come, already things have happened, they're waiting for him to come. They're literally waiting, when is Isa gonna come? So they're there in Damascus waiting. When he comes, they know exactly who it is. So as soon as he comes down, the Imam, hadith doesn't say Mahdi. The Imam, your Imam, will offer him the salah, and he will say, no, the iqamah was given for you, you go ahead and lead. And then after this, there is no mention of the Mahdi whatsoever.